Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap Advanced Education and Live Trading webinar today with Jtrader. I'm your host, Bruce, and we'll go through some live analysis from Jtrader, who's a professional trader. He does this for a living. He also offers mentorship. So we'll go over that in just a minute. But the intro or biography, well, we've had Jtrader here for some years now, but he began trading at a very young age and trading some pretty big size. He focuses mainly on order flow scalping, the US equities, and also options in his small cap room. This is his contact information here, his website, Twitter, YouTube, email, and then also special deals from Jtrader here. And then we got to go through the disclosures and we'll jump right in. All right, so just a minute here and make sure that YouTube is going correctly. Yeah, here and make sure. All right, so general disclosure, all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, Tony. All right, so let's jump in here and let's take a look and see what's going on in these markets. I also want to go over and review something from yesterday. All right, so we'll get to that. But we just had some activity here, 9:45, as you guys can see. So that was the flash services PMI, and then at 10 as well, you can see something. So you know the back and forth in here is pretty volatile, but and these two data points, it's actually pretty interesting order flow around these areas here. So we have the new home sales and the consumer sentiment from University of Michigan as well. So one was positive, one was negative, or at least that's the way the market reacted to it, and we're just going back up now. And this was the kind of bigger direction anyway. All right, we're up at 40.30 right now, and trading into high liquidity here. Pretty strong move here. All right, so just breaking out of this area here. Now price went way up here previously, or at least let's put it this way, the best bid did. The transaction took place down here around this 27, and we're already above it, all right, in the current market. So we're up at 30, at 31 in fact. So this is strong, and I would anticipate a bit of a pullback here and maybe a retest right back down to this 28 level here. Just the way that this is kind of behaving is trading into high liquidity in here, looking for a bit of a pullback, and then we're just basically, unless we see something change and shift in the order flow, we're still looking for this to climb higher. Okay, now here for example, buyers, lack of buyers, so not as many buyers. Okay, so maybe it's starting to turn into a range bound. Now, are we getting sellers down here? No, not yet. If we do see that scenario, lots of selling here, we'd be looking for maybe the drop into this kind of 27, maybe 26 and a half, somewhere around here, 26 3/4. All right, so this is just reading the order flow and understanding the volume pressures as well as the limit order book within this price structure here. And that's it. Here come our sellers. Now let's see if they have the potential here to try to just down to here. We're not looking for much. you know, down to where these buyers came in previously. Now the liquidity is down lower. It's down here around this 25.5 and 25. Right, so just kind of noticing these areas in here and looking for sellers. If we get enough sellers, we would drop into there. Now that's what I wanted to, it's a good kind of lead off into some of the images that I took a screenshot from yesterday. Right, so we covered in detail yesterday, well, a bunch of things. We're always going through quite a bit in here. But there's two different images I had in here. Okay, this one was, let's see, that's 2 o'clock there. This one was a little bit later. So this is the first one here. Can you guys see the distinction in the chart? After, during that webinar, the webinar time was starting here at 10. And this, we saw the move to the upside around 85 or so, what we were looking for. And then we just weren't sure. In here we're looking for something that give us a little bit higher probability. We did see, I think, maybe the sellers come in here and then the move lower. Yeah, we did see that, and we called that out in real time. And then not really seeing much except for maybe here at the, well, this is where we see the change, and this is what I wanted to show. Right, can you guys see that change right here? Okay, it's really good stuff. So this is what we were looking for and covering in the webinar. Now we're zoomed out, and of course it's in hindsight now, of course. But we were looking for it in real time. We even, if you go back in the webinar, you'll see that we drew kind of circles in this area here, looking for this breakout. Well, it took place, but later here. Okay, that's the distinction. It's right here.
Bruce is amazing.
Joseph.
Good morning, Bruce and Bookmap.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, amico mio, come stai?
Sto bene. È un holiday qua. Domani, almeno.
Now we'll do the turkey. She's from New York, darling.
Con tacchino, ringraziamento.
Benissimo.
Yeah. Lots of turkey here in the States. We were just covering like something we were looking for yesterday in the order flow, and we were looking for it like all session long besides the opening, and then we saw it. Well, we didn't see it during the webinar. We're outlining it, but it happened later. It happened again, guys. Here, look at the distinction. Can you see that in the chart? Right, do you see the big green dots pulling that market higher? It went up to 4,000, right, and then some. So anyway, I just wanted to cover that. This was what we were looking for, and it unfolded nicely a couple times. I hope that you guys were able to take advantage of that. Anyway, let's move on and get to any questions that you have, as well as let's get the screen up for Joseph.
Okay. All right. Let me know, Bruce, when you can see my monitor.
Yeah, hold on a moment here. I'm kind of all over the place. There you are.
All right. Can you see the chart over here?
Yes, got it.
Okay, so first of all, good morning, traders. Today we're going to talk about NRBO, GSUN, and also Tesla. So small caps are back, definitely. But I just want to point out an exercise that I believe also Bruce will, back me up on this and also tell you to do it. This is an exercise that I gave to a student of mine where he analyzes during the trading session all the reversals that we had in this market, in this case, Tesla. And you can see that he has also, at those reversal patterns, the level of heat map. So you could basically spot over here, and this I believe it's really one of the best training for pattern recognition that you can do. You can basically see the dip over here into this $166 area with the heat map. Again, the rejection over here with the heat map, the bounce over here, just a little bit far from the heat map with a very low liquidity over here. This beautiful over here soak into this heat map over here at 170. So we had a stuff just above 170, and then the triple top. And then again over here, this structure. So this is, I would say, an idea of what you can do. So I believe it will be very useful for you traders. And I suggest you do every single day. Okay. So going to today, we started trading today GSUN, but we're still actually short on our NRBO, which is a small cap. I want to cover this 1 second. We have, I'm going to put over here 1 second the stats. So NRBO. Over here, you can see Trader's a stock with 3 million float. Has a low institutional ownership. So 3 million float means that it can flow rotate pretty fast. The institutional is small, no SSR. News over here is basically Goldman Sachs now owns 10% over here of the company. So an institutional. Financially over here, the company, I would say, has a very bad balance sheet. Because yes, they have a cash of 6 million per quarter left, but they're burning, let's say, 800K per month. So the cash won't last enough. No revenues and negative net income, like many of the biotech companies that we have around. History over here, the stock tends to, and I went to see every single gapper, the stock tends to close red on day one, 2 times out of 3 with an average extension. So remember this number, 24%. Okay, just remember the number, traders, over here. So what I did this morning was looking for a possible spot to short. The plan was both sides, so I'm explaining a little bit about the process. We have over here NRBO, a small float. We have a daily supply, and we will see this soon. Why I said daily supply? I'm sorry. So this is a stock with a recent reverse split, 130. Okay. We can see the stock went over here, parabolic, came all the way down. Yesterday's stock was worth something like 1.20 bucks. Of course, we have over here the Form 3, gap up 150, extended to this area of high liquidity. So why is it a high liquidity area? You can check over here volume profile, for example, that I know is used by many traders. There are different ways to use volume profile, but we can talk about another time. I just want to point out over here that we have a good amount of supply between 170 and $190 area. And this morning I said that daily supply is between 170 and $1. So this means that ideally into this area, I want to take my short. So I was looking over here to short into the pre-market high or be set up, taking a long at the J lines at the open. Once we had the open over here, we can see that the price is always uptrending with the J lines, right? Always uptrending with the J lines. It opens, we have this fast dip over here to the J lines. Right away, you can see the momentum is shifting, right? So we have sellers and then over here buyers. So buyers stepping in. At this point over here, 156, we have the buyers increasing their position. Then more over here, 159. So is it good short? Yes, the first pop over here, 160 to the 150 is a pretty good short. That's the first pop that came 160 down to 150. So this is a good short. But you have to be super quick in then or getting out or reversing to a long position. What tells me right now that we're going to reverse? So in the previous times, we covered the reclaim of the open level and the amount of buyers to step in. This is a very strong tape over here. You can see we extend to this $180 area, $180 area, we start forming that heat map, and we went to soak exactly into it, soak into it. So what we did, I called the trade short 177, 176, but not at this point. I called the trade short exactly at this point. Why not at this area? I want a little bit more confirmation over here that we were looking to consolidate and, having the last push into this resistance. So I alerted, we're gonna short over here, we're gonna take the trade, and we're gonna look for a possible unwind. This stock, remember, has no good filings. This stock has also a huge amount of supply, 170, 190, remember. So my trade was 176. We're still holding for 130. This point over here, we had an absorption. You can see over here into the 180. This is a structure that I love. You can see, for example, one of the traders that I'm mentoring. So starting the position and then loading the both on these pops. And this is the key. This level over here, this 180 is the key. The same over here into this chart. Over here, the trader started a little bit too early, but sorry, this was a long. Okay, so this was a long with the play. This is a pretty good short. You can see over here the trader aiming over here for the top, covering, then adding exactly on that point, 933, and then even later over here we had the last push at 940 for the last fail. So all the way down. Now, what's our target on this today? Will be ideally 130. Okay, so I'm staying over here for the 130. I don't want to cover before the 130. Maybe trailing partially at 140. This is another trade. You can see over here the trader taking the perfect timing, right? On this pop. And then looking for that one. I'm still not covering. So that's called conviction, like this type of trading. So one fill, one entry, and holding all the way down. So we're going to look now for or re-adds, and I will re-add only into this resistance over here, 156, 160. Otherwise, straight down to the 133, 135, this area down here. So today we had also GSUN, we'll cover soon. We shorted 273, now the price is 215. We also traded short 2 times Tesla, and then we had a long setup that personally I missed it. The short pretty good. So we're going to review after those trades. But let's see if we can trade this together. We're going to have more possible ads for today. See, no buyers right now, right? No buyers. So we can hold this on the side for a moment. We can upload Tesla. Tesla today was quite easy to trade. Okay, so we had the morning over here, pretty top on Tesla the gate. You can see price made lower lows, higher highs, so it made like a wedge, and then started to break over here this 174, which is this area over here, and started to uptrend, a dip over here, main soak. This was the news that came out. So data over here. And then you can see buyers simply in. Remember, yesterday was 165. Today we're getting to the 180 on this over here. So right now, when I'm looking to enter, only down here, the tail lines. I want to just share with you a few points where we had still opportunities over here to enter today. And we had this main fake breakdown 178. So this level over here was a perfect good setup. Well, let's see, traders, even here, if we're going to have any kind of setup to trade this short or short sorting into the 180, this main liquidity 120,000, or long into the Zenas down here. Still a little bit of time to wait before the main setup.
Joseph, I mean, what you were looking at earlier in Tesla and the breakout, and what I was covering kind of from yesterday's a screenshot later in the afternoon. I mean, the same pattern. Maybe you can show that again, because like, just look at how easy it is. Now, trading's not easy, but if you wait and you see something that is very, very telling, you have an edge. So,
yeah,
if you could show that Tesla again, because it is just
of course,
super simple to take a look at.
of course. I have two examples today, Bruce, if I may have. The first one is this morning, the short that we took. And I just want to point out one thing over here. So just look at this 175 here, okay? We'll zoom out a little bit. We had this morning over here, the push to this 175 over here. And you can see how it broke, right? And then it pushed all the way down. So this is what I really love to trade. And why? Because we have a low risk. We have a setup that gives me a very tight risk. So this is the level over here. And in that moment, I said, I'm shorting Tesla, 174.80 for that structure here, because I'm very serious about this setup. This setup that we see over here is an important daily resistance. It's an important pivot. It's a main fake out that we can see over here. So let's turn on the lights on this one. So you can see that we go to break traders over here, right? We're breaking this level 175. And then we start going all the way down over here. So where are the buyers? I don't see any more the buyers. Okay, I don't see any more the buyers. So it's not a point for me to, look for the top tick. I don't care about that. I mean, there are traders out there that they can do some very good timing. What I'm looking is for the low risk entry. Okay, and over here you can see that at that time I was explaining over here exactly how to short Tesla for that same reason, with all the process and charts and everything over here. Now, the same setup that we saw here in pre-market, we saw it also over here yesterday. And I'm going to take this chart because it's a chart that one of my mentors did, but I think it's a pretty good chart explaining those fake outs and also those bounces. So as we were looking right now at 175 and we had a break and right away it failed. Over here we can see that we had the push into this area of resistance. You can see over here, trader, that we get exactly to this big heat map. So over here you see that point and then reversal. And that main point of reversal, we can see it also over here. Bruce, look this structure, because today I was laughing because a trader told me trading with Bookmap today on Tesla is really like, he said it's really like, how you say, it's like a trick, okay? Because it's really like being too simple to trade. So I love these trades because they give me a very low risk And then when I have a low risk, I can simply load the size.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was basically over here, rejection, bounce, rejection, bounce, rejection, bounce. And yes, look, we were over here, 166. Main dip. Main dip. Now, let's look.
This, by the way, is a great chart because it shows the higher time frame and levels, and then it shows the order flow around those levels.
Exactly. Exactly. This is a good job. It's a good job that I believe all traders should do it.
Yeah.
A very, very good job. So getting back to our trade today, or sorry, our stock today, I shorted 2 times this morning Tesla, but I missed this long. This long happened over here. You know, Bruce, this is my setup. This long happened over here exactly to the J lines, exactly with the big heat map over here, 945. But I was totally absorbed on others, on other charts. You can see over here, again, the fake breakdown, right? Absorption. Over here, absorption, you can see over here, traded like a decent amount of volume, around 25,000. We breached over here, so we have a little bit of bear trap. Okay, this is enough over here to collect all the bears or the sellers over here, getting their shares, and then right away reclaim over here. News out. Okay, so this 945 news came out. Dot over here, starting to reject the first heat map. Then over here, V pattern starting to reject it again, and then you can see over here massive amount of buyers. 947, exactly this bar over here, 947 breakout, massive amount of sellers, buyers, sorry. And this point over here for me is critical because if we reject, then I want to see really big magenta prints, so main sellers. The fact over here is that we're making higher lows, we're getting above, never get to this level, so very strong tape. So right now for me is only looking for or that 180, for a possible scalp short, even 30, 40 cents, that would be fine. Or looking for a main pullback to this 177. The main picture this morning is this. I was more oriented for short bias, so this is what I wrote exactly. I was be looking for this trendline break over here in a short or a possible rejection of this 176. But that's the reason why bias is important to a certain point. Then have these setups over here to short up here. Then I have the setup over here to short below the 170. So I didn't take over here any kind of long entry because my setup was over here this morning to short. I know always that we can have a reversal, and we had it like a pretty good one. But I know pretty good for the day, for trades, for wins. So over here, just waiting. What we have to do over here, I would look into this hourly time frame. We can see that the majority of the liquidity over here, high volume node, was traded into this area. So 190, 187 to 195 is the main high volume area. And over here, Bruce, I would say that if we can today close above here the J lines, we have a pretty big, I would say, expectation to go hit this 185 and then ideally over here the 190. I really see it like this. Even the other time over here, so we're talking about 1 week ago, we went to break the hourly J lines. We pushed over here into the second J lines. So what I'm looking right now is this push to the 185, and then we'll see if we can break and get to this 190 territory.
Yeah, looks great.
So this for now, we have to wait. I'm not micro scalping over here. I'm waiting for, one main position and holding. We can check also over here on Meta. So Meta today, very liquid, not trending, sideways action. Let's put, I want to inherit from this. Okay, so we have the same one. Okay, look over here, Meta. Different scenario, traders, different scenario. So it seems like, looks like an ascending triangle, right? If you look at the 5-minute chart, we can see we have a major trend line break. We're curling. We have liquidity over here at 112.50. You can see this point over here on Bookmap, which is this level over here. And then I believe 113, 114, 114.40. So basically the levels that we have over here. 114.50 over here. This 114.50, 114, 114 this high, 113, 113 over here. So liquidity is stacked. This is a good chart for the day. So good work over here from Andrew, for example. But this was more like a range trading, right? So the stock doesn't really move. It's basically bounce and ranging. What I like that you traders look with me right now is the fact that over here, the short came 112 and 10. So exactly traders into this first rejection. So we're gonna put a little bit of zoom in. So it came exactly here. And then the main cover to this low. To this low. Well, perfect, right? Very good use over here for Bookmap. And why I say that, trend break, right? All the way down. And this is only the first trade over here. So use that Bookmap levels like a target as well. Okay, this doesn't mean it won't break, but that's a pretty good target. And then we had also here the last pattern. So very good, I would say, read buy over here, entry of this trade. You can see over here a push into 955. So this area, you can see how it exhausts over here. Rejection. Traders taking the trade over here at 112, exactly this point. Risking over here just like 20 cents. Taking the dump, re-adding, taking a dump, and covering into this wick. You can see also over here. Let's point out this level. So this main wick over here, 10.00 is this. Okay, you can see the covers. We go really to exhaust over here. You can see that we have seller, 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 last one. And then we start like simply bouncing over here. The other stock we traded today is GSUN. So this is one of those stocks that beginners should trade. Easy read. The point for me was that, and I want to explain about the stock traders. The point is that this stock didn't give much buying pressure to the gate. So I was really reading over here the order flow. We started trading this very, very early. We started trading this around 7. So imagine what time you have to be up if, for example, you are like in the West Coast. And around 7 over here, this is my 7:10. Okay, so I'm gonna say over here so you can see. You see over here, this is 7:10, exactly this point that I'm pointing over here, 7:10. You see 7:10. The price over here is 273. Okay, so 273, my 7:10, shorted 273. Not full position, started 280. Okay, so that's the point where we started taking the trade. And you know where's the point? Now over here, for example, the trader over here, one of my mentoring, didn't short over here, was still, I believe, asleep or doing something else. He traded later, but others traded with me from here. And then you can see this main level of selling pressure over here, right? They went to, to absorb them. They absorb over here this liquidity. The sellers are back in play. I don't see any more from this moment. I don't see any more buyers at all. And then again, you can see this main selling pressure. So the trader over here got to the, to the monitors after the open. Level over here to short. Last cover over here, 198. So he basically shorted this push over here into 250, taking 50 cents. And over here, I don't know personally how much he covered 225, but I believe if this was half and half, he took at least something like 5-6 R return at least. So a pretty good trade, very low risk, and just simply love to see this trade over here. Okay, so this is a clear gap and crap. You'll hear me talking about this often. It's one of the easiest setups that I like to trade. Okay, so keep an eye when you see the setups over here.
Joseph, just wanted to point out some really interesting order book activity there.
Of course.
Right around that 9:30 open. So if you can zoom into that area, yeah. So first, they're showing quite a bit of liquidity on the bid there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does trade into it, and but then look at that offer. I mean, this is called layering. That larger players are coming in every, I don't know, every 4 ticks or so.
Yeah, something like that. The same structure, Bruce, if I may. We can see it also how over here. Actually, over here, look how this they form a block, literally like a wall over here. So different. No, this is a block over here, and this is layering.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, did that have an effect on price? Yeah,
Of
look at
course,
it.
of course, of course, of course. It's like they're topping out. I always use this expression. They're topping out over here, the price section. They create like this wall over here of supply, and I don't see that huge amount of wall of buyers down here. And when there's this crack to 30, then they simply wash it over here. Okay, over here I think some nice sweeps, some stops over here get run over, and it simply dumps all the way down to this $2. The whole dollar number then start bouncing a little bit, probably from covering. I don't think over here anybody's kind of buying this stuff today. So I really like this liquidity. So pretty good tape over here, pretty easy to spot. So personally, I took this 273. My last cover was bad, 217. And I even said pre-market traders, if the stock is continuing to go down, don't cover everything, leave always a partial. What I did, I cover everything over here, and not really respecting the rules, what I said before. Amazon, on the other hand, so still into that resistance. Watching over here, Tesla as well still. We are still in NRBO. And we put over here back Tesla, which is extending. We have a 180.9. You can see the resistance, this peak, this low. Then we have a secondary resistance over here, 182 and 20. So we're going to put Tesla back. So remember what I said before. If we get to the 180 and we start rejecting, the 180 would be good for even a 30-cent scalp. Remember I said that. Well, over here, what happened? We didn't get to this 180. We got first this 79.90, came down for about 40-50 cents. And then over here, didn't reject the 180, simply broke all the way up. Can I short something like this right now? No, absolutely, I will be waiting. I will be waiting for a main pullback. Well, let's see over here and just wait. So GSUN curling down, NRBO we're still holding. Amazon over here to that 94 resistance, so you can see almost same price section as Tesla. Meta over here is still in that range. So what we saw just now, traders, is what I call a stuff. So break 180.10 right away. You can see over here fake out, and then right away dump. Is this a short? No. So I'm just simply going to wait over here. There's a lot of patience involved. At this point, traders, I still see just a steady trend, uptrend over here. So staying with really the trend following. Just waiting, right? Yes, right now, simply stuffed.
Order filled.
Looking at yes over here. So what we're looking for is a small breakdown of this level and unwind till here, 178. So let's see. This is not an A+ setup, remember. Traders shall only trade A+ setup, so following the trend, but this is a pretty good level of liquidity over here, 179 and 90, more 180. Curling down with a 90 MA, so until this curls down, we can have a little bit of fail. It's already coming down, you can see, testing that support. Testing that support over here, 179.50. More liquidity over here, 179.85. That's it. So that's already the. After this, you put your stop break even. Still more sellers over here, so they create a little bit of liquidity area at 179 and 55. It went away over here, so it seemed like spoofing. Now more selling pressure, you can see, so seller jumping in. When I'm in a trade, what I do, this is important, so try to do it. I look at the bigger picture again. So start looking for, this is the main relative high, and drawing my fibs down till here. So on Tesla, remember we're looking at Tesla, GSUN, and NRBO. I'm looking for now these levels of here, support at 178 and 80, or 178 and 60 this year. So we have a possible move down to here, down to this fib, right? This 88 fib. So let's see if we can get to there. Or if you're short over here, scalp, put a stop break even. More selling pressure now. So we can get definitely to that 178 and 50. Main liquidity over here, 179. dipped over here, but still downtrend, still making over here, still trending now, this micro trend over here, right? This pullback below the 90 MA. Of course, we are uptrending, so we're talking about the pullback. What I see over here, traders, is that, sorry, they're starting to put a little bit of liquidity. So buyers coming in. There we are, buyers, you can see in. So bouncing over here, yes. Bouncing over here, Tesla. Then I have over here a reason to enter. Well, not an A+ setup, not a main support that I really wanted to long Tesla, so I'm still waiting, no trade. Meta over here giving instead a setup. Remember, Meta is sideways, right? So giving a setup over here, 112 and 18. Again, 180 Tesla rejection. So traders, before we're talking about how to short Tesla, and that perfect fake out that we said before, remember that 174 and 80, this is a mentoring trader that I'm coaching. So it took over here a good trade. This is a nice four-figure trade, sorry. So we had a fake out over here, the 174. We were showing this level over here in pre-market, this one. Actually, a three-figure short over here. You use a like small size. But you can see over here that went out, went out, went out to this point, 830. So the process is correct. Process is correct over here. So exactly what you have to do. When you see that resistance. So try to work for, this is the same trader that I was showing. Try to look for consistency when you trade. Okay. Try to look for no big drawdowns. And after, I can promise you that if you trade good, if you respect the rules, your profit will grow. Okay, just don't trade for the money. Try to avoid instead having big drawdown. That's a secret in trading. If you can manage your losses, you're gonna simply have, I would say, your best wins, your best days. Still going over here, Tesla. So now the next target over here is this pivot. Remember, we have a pivot over here, 181. So we could have a rejection. This is R3 pivot. 181. Let's see over here how we'll react. And I'm not entering over here unless I made JSlim for a small fake out trade. Okay, so this would be just a scalp trade for advanced traders, not an A+ setup. The A+ setup is always following the main, I would say, trend. Okay, so trend following. Very, very close to that 181. Still buyers over here on the tape. You can see, traders, we got this 180.90. We have over here a main soak, made absorption. I'm gonna follow this for now. And absorption on this 180.50. The only thing I'm waiting over here, 181 pivot, fake out, that's it, okay? So if I have or 181 or a fake break of 181. Will only be a small scalp short over here, counter trend. It's ranging, traders, so avoid over here for now. Okay, breakout over here of that level. 181, not short for me. It's still strong. You can see over here the order flow. You can see still over here buyers. Not strong, not shorting over here. Not yet. Okay, got in right now. 181 and 20 short. Just right now. 181, 20 short. Risk is 181.20. So looking for the possible fake out scalp short. Still holding my position. Is going over under that 181 and 20. I see still sellers in. We'll share the chart over here in Bookmap Discord room and in small cap room, Jtraderco. Still sellers in the tape. I can see there's a high chance over here, traders, that we're gonna get to this 181 again, or maximum the stop over here at 30. So at 30 over here. They're still printing over here some bids. If it curls now this up, I'm out. Going down over here, covering partial to this low, 181. So I'm sharing over here my chart on Discord. So Bookmap over here. So you can see the management that I had. So explaining the process, you can go down over here. So looking for the perfect time. This is a very small scalp with a small size, just to explain over here the level of fake out I was watching. So I was looking over here for this pivot area. I was looking over here for this area over here of selling pressure, and I saw a big seller jumping in every single time. 181 and 25, 181 and 30. This soak, okay, and this lower high give me the conviction. Now here the pivot is a strong support plus the 90 MA. If we break, we're gonna go down probably $1. But if we don't break, we have to be, disciplined to get out this time in the money. So looking for that main perfect timing to enter, you can see. Now, still see sellers over here, which are absorbed. The fact that you see this sideways action over here, they're absorbed. So somebody over here buying. There's really a fight over here between demand and supply.
Yeah, it looks like an iceberg order there.
Yeah. Okay. Think we're gonna drop right now, Bruce. Let's see. Not yet. And again, another stuff. We had 2-3 stops over here in the stock. This is just using these previous levels over here means there's a big seller, right, at these points. Again, remember, for beginners, try always to trade towards the main, we say trend. So this is just like a scalp counter trend. I'm already out everything in the money for a small win over here, only to show you the price action. if we will have another setup of re-entry, we'll call it alert again. Now this is uptrending. Let's see. There's still main sell over here, 181.30. Still the main sell over here. Basing again this 181. Still sellers over here, but again, waiting for now. Yeah, definitely consolidation over here. So we have a buyer constantly 181 over here at a filling. So they always put, even if they're sell over here, they're always putting back size. Okay. So we went over here from 2,000, 3,000, then back over here. You can see they're absorbing 11,000. Then you can see main demand area formed. And the same thing over here at the top. So sideways action. And meanwhile, we can look at Meta, main fake out. Remember, Meta is sideways in a consolidation. Again, you can see over here why I say often breakouts don't work. For this reason, you'll buy over here the breakout, ascending triangle, 181, 12 and 50, push, fail. Over here, you can see that they break the level of resistance. They push it back up. Right away over here, comes down. Okay, so fake out over here. This is called fake out, okay, fake breakout, or in this case, also JSLIM. Amazon trying to go. Tesla still at 181. So playing games over here at Tesla.
Joseph, I don't want to interrupt your trade if we see something interesting here, because it just traded through that that 181, and that we think there's a pretty big iceberg down there. Maybe it
Exactly.
gets really
Exactly.
interesting now.
Yeah.
I
And we can see over here, fake breakdown, right away reclaim. So look over here.
Yeah,
Breakdown over here. They try to absorb breakdown. So short over here, or even longs that were selling, they were bought back up over here. And now they're forming what we were saying before over here, a little bit of layering, 181 and 90 and 80. And they're still in this range, so they're faking out at the top, they're faking out at the low, both ways.
yeah.
Another soak absorption over here, 181.
There you go.
And then bought back up. Careful. It's really trappy right now. Tesla was simply avoided. Very trappy. Jump in long over here, 0.6 on the bid. Risking 181. So jump in long on this dip, risking this 181. Going right away my automatic stop. So should push to the 181 and 30. But again, resist 181 and 10, holding. Getting out scratch over here. Why? Because it's not working. So I prefer to get out scratch if it's not working. And revisit this at the barrier down here. Okay, so we're gonna look for that main A plus setup.
Joseph, when you have a moment, I do want to go over something that we just launched. So
we can do it now, Bruce.
Okay. So people have been asking about it. We about a Black Friday event, any sort of special deals or sales. We are offering it. So let me show it here. And just release this page. So the deal is 50% off first month on all monthly subscriptions. So let me show the landing page. I think this would be best. Hold on a minute. Okay. And I'll put this into the chat for you guys as well. All right. So here's the landing page on the website. It's bookmap.com/Black Friday. Let me put this into Discord as well as into YouTube.
I'm gonna bring that up over here.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. All right, guys. So all right. So the Black Friday deals here, and what we're offering here is well, it's 50% off of a Bookmap for the first month only. And so if you haven't tried Bookmap, this is your chance. Get it for half off, and we'll have it into next week as well. We have the Pro Trader webinars next week, so we'll be covering it then as well. But if you upgrade, if you're a current customer already, let's suppose you have the digital version of Bookmap, digital plus version of Bookmap. If you upgrade to global, it will still work. If you have global version of Bookmap and you want to upgrade to global plus, it will work. So what you'll do is you'll use this coupon code here on the bookmap.com/Black Friday. It's BM Black Friday. Input that. There's a link in here to use to get this. So just go to this page. It'll explain it. And click on the link, input the coupon code, and you'll get the 50% off. So for those of you that have been coming to these webinars for a while and wanted to try Bookmap, this is a good opportunity. Okay, that was it.
I think that's a very good deal. So over here we had finally this crack 181.
Oh no, right when I go, it breaks.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. The last trade we were long at 0.6, got out at 0.3, and before this dump over here, now we have to wait this ideally or 180. So the whole random number, previous resistance now could be a good support. We're actually looking over here for this 179.50. which is the Zenas, and that would give me a possible A plus setup to long this thing. At the same time, I'm still looking at NRBO, which is basically lateral, sideways. So we're holding position. So for whoever was this morning following over here, we got short over here, 177. I shared a few charts of what we did. Easy setup to trade. Major over here, supply here on the daily chart. Perfect over here, Bookmap. You can see really this was like cheating today using Bookmap. You can see that pushing the liquidity 180. And this is an amazing trade. Now waiting for this 144 to trim partial, but I'm looking for this 130. Okay, so if I have to look over here for the target, that 130 and no compromises, I want to see for that.
Excellent.
So very low volume, see Bruce, an existing volume over here. So reason to hold the trade and simply not looking to cover anything.
Joseph, you covered institutional ownership here,
Yeah.
and 10% is owned by Goldman Sachs. So, I was kind of curious on how you view that. That's quite a bit. They're not going to let it fail, but as best they can, I guess. But I'm wondering, like, in the float, and you see percentage trading, because you were talking about supply before, and I think you were just talking about the supply levels in Bookmap, in with liquidity there. But in terms of supply of the float, what do you look for with institutional ownership for you to start getting interested, for something easier kind of setup or easier read?
Well, anything that has a high institutional. So when we're talking about high institutional, I'm looking for something ideally above 35, 40%. Then I'm looking for a potential long play, or at least intraday long play. Okay, so not something long term. When I'm looking instead for shorting, I ideally want to see a stock with, I would say, low institutional ownership, something between, I would say, 0 and 25, 30%. The lower, the better. Okay, so that is really what I'm focusing on. This stock over here, yes, has Goldman Sachs that has 10% over here an institution, but is still a low institutional ownership stock. So below that 30, 35% that we were looking. So I'm still looking for a potential unwind. I mean, we still have a decent trade over here from the 176, holding all down is 160. So now we have to look if it's possible another add to the short. The point of this stock, Bruce, is that today was a threshold, so you can borrow only one time, or I mean, you can borrow as many times you want. But once you cover, you have to reborrow again. So it's not very, interesting for beginners. Maybe you get stopped the first time and then you have to re-enter, so you have to reborrow again. That's the reason why I would say GSUN today was the main setup to trade and was also the easiest. Okay, simply fader. Instead of here before we had a push on this one and then start to fade it only after the first 10 minutes.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, but for now, we're going to hold this short. We're going to hold this short, no reason here to cover. I mean, if we look at the stats of the company over here and we look at their financials, they can have whoever they want as an institution, but I mean, this stock's over here. This stocks. No revenue, negative net income. So what I've been doing lately is, of course, small caps are my niche, but I've been trading a lot of big caps as well in futures. The plays that we trade are both for the morning and for the afternoon. I like to focus on 1 to 2 stocks per day. Generally no more than 2 stocks I prefer to, pinpoint good entries, one main trade, and ride it more than, scalping. Now on Tesla, we made just a little scalp before to explain the process of the timing of the order flow, looking for this range, looking for absorption, looking for icebreaker, looking for, all of this together. But basically, when I'm trading size, when I'm trading like specific size, then I'm looking for the A plus setup. Like for example, this pre-market on Tesla, or yesterday short on Tesla, this morning the short on NRBO, GSUN. So these are the plays that I really like. So I like to generally short the top and try to hold it, or at least the backside, or I try to buy the bid over here, the dip, and try to hold as long as I can. So those are, I would say, the best risk reward trades that they make your accounts grow. If you look over here again on Tesla traders, again, we had the washout and right away that reclaimed, you can see. So there's still somebody over here that is buying dips all morning, all morning, all morning. Every single time this dips, you can see over here, pushes back up, dips, pushes back up, dips, pushes back up. And we always have these breakdowns, right, of heat maps of previous support, and then right away reclaims. So this is I would say a signal of a very strong tape. So right now, there's no A plus setup trade over here. We have to wait for these dips on Tesla. Meta over here, it's in range, so no A plus setup trade. Amazon, which is one of my favorite. We said before over here we had a setup, but we're still in the range. Now it's starting to uptrend, so we're gonna wait for a pullback. SPY is uptrending pretty good, and Tesla over here is finding new highs right now.
All right, good stuff, Joseph.
Thank you, Bruce. We got to the last minutes. Any questions, traders?
No, I think you have some announcements, or you have some Black Friday deals as well.
Yeah, we have a promotion for only this week. So it will be Black Friday, 25% off, and I will put over here the information on our bundle, which is the chat room, beginner course, advanced course. We trade futures, and in major part, big caps and small caps. These are the bundle codes for the monthly and for the yearly. So you receive all the live streaming intraday. You can see my execution, my live charts, my pre-market plan, beginner course, advanced course, and also the monthly webinars. We just had, for example, yesterday a webinar on order flow, tape reading together with Bookmap in the room. So that was a pretty exciting one. So if you wanna get in the room, traders, I'm sure you will love it. Another fake out, Bruce, over here. Another faker. So again, for me, no point over here to trade this unless we get to that 179 and 60. So we'll simply over here avoid trading this unless we get to the J lines. Nothing else for now. What do you think? We can wrap it up for today?
No, I'd like to keep you for another hour or two.
Oh, okay. I mean, if my voice still like affords, because yeah, it's a big sacrifice. I love to be here with you, but like a week, I'm not feeling that great. I believe that is the winter coming. No, it's fine.
Yeah, no, thank you,
It's fine. It's fine. It's
thank
fine.
you so much, Joseph. Really, it's much appreciated. It's really great stuff that you're going over, and should be helpful for all the stock traders out there, as well as other traders. I mean, guys, it's just this the same stuff here. It just some of these small caps are a lot more volatile than
Yeah.
and Joseph, thank the Lord. I mean, he's a complete expert in it. So we're going to get quite a bit from Joseph here about these small caps and stocks. They are pretty wild. So we're very lucky. Thank you, Joseph. Guys, don't forget there's specials here from Joseph and from Bookmap here. So the links are in there. You can see them. And yeah, take advantage of them. We'll catch up with you. Oh, don't forget, hit the like and the subscribe button. We'll catch up with you next Wednesday, Joseph. It'll be a Pro Trader webinar series. Yeah, have a wonderful holiday and Thanksgiving.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bruce and Bookmap. Have a happy Thanksgiving and see you next week. Bye-bye.